All right, Roberta, thank you. E-cigarette usage among high school students tripled between 2013 and 2014. That's according to a new report from the CDC.
And political analyst Melissa Griffin Caen is here to explain how California lawmakers are trying to reverse that trend. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
That's right. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, e-cigarette use among high school students is up dramatically. In California, we're already spending $7 million on an advertising campaign warning young people about e-cigarettes. But in addition to that, there are a number of bills pending in Sacramento that will affect e-cigarette usage. We've got a few of the major ones listed here. SB 140 would change the definition of a tobacco product to include e-cigarettes so that all restrictions out there on smoking apply to e-cigarettes. This includes things like restrictions on smoking in public. SB 151 raises the legal age to purchase tobacco products to 21. So if both of these laws pass, the age to purchase e-cigarettes would also be 21. We'd be the first state in the nation to have that rule. And finally, SB 24 requires retailers to obtain a separate license for each location that sells e-cigarettes. This is a current requirement for the sale of traditional cigarettes. This law would just apply those same requirements to the sellers of e-cigarettes. So there you go. Those are a couple of the things that are in the hopper for California.
All right, well, there's opposition to these laws. Where's it coming from?
Well, as you might imagine, the e-cigarette and vaping industries are none too pleased about these. A few weeks ago, almost 100 people who work in vaping parlors, now those are places where you can use hookah pipes and e-cigarettes, they staged a protest at the Capitol. So there's an argument that jobs are lost when you crack down on e-cigarettes. The other opposition is from a group of marijuana activists who say that people on medical marijuana often use vaporizers to take their medicine. And they don't want to have to go outside like a smoker to do it. Now, that marijuana thing is something that will probably be worked out in the final versions of these laws.
Do you think the law will pass?
Well, probably. I mean, so far it looks really good. Aside from the industry itself, there is pretty broad support for these laws. Healthcare groups, for example, are pretty actively supporting them. They say, number one, nicotine is bad for young brain development. And number two, we don't really know what's in e-cigarette cartridges. They're not regulated. They say that there are reports of cartridges with things like formaldehyde in them. And even if you take something that seems harmless, like vanilla, for example, and you heat it up and inhale it, it can cause harm to the lungs. So it's kind of the Wild West out there right now, and not in a good way. And so that's why they are trying to rein in the access and use of these e-cigarettes.
So if these things need to be regulated, then why isn't California doing more to regulate them?
I think we'd love to. You know, we love to regulate stuff here. I think if we could, we probably would. But the federal government has jurisdiction here. A federal law passed in 2009 gave the power to regulate e-cigarettes to the Federal Food and Drug Administration. Now, the FDA is working on regulations, but we don't know if they'll come out. And if the regulations are really strict, the whole e-cigarette industry could go up in smoke.
I think that's a movie, right?
I was going to give you one of these.
Yeah, thank you.
There we go.
All right, Melissa.
Well, you'll like this next story because you've been there before.